One of the first steps that I took as the dramaturg for Romeo and Juliet was actually going back to the text because, Romeo and Juliet has at least 3 different versions. I think, that really informed deep, textually based approach to work. I think is what draws our audiences to us because they see it in the work. They see it in what the actors do. They see it in what designers, design for our stages. Laird Williamson has actually never directed Romeo and Juliet, believe it or not. So he's bringing to it a sense of excitement and a sense of delight and wonder in really approaching this text for the very first time. Romeo and Juliet is Shakespeare's best known and most performed play, and there's a reason for that. There is, something so eternal about young love because it really speaks to who we are as human beings. And I think Shakespeare has really captured that in a way that I think few other artists have. But at the same time, that young love doesn't exist in a vacuum. It is rooted in the place in which it's born out of. We're actually going back to a historically grounded time period for our production. He's setting it in Alta California in the late 1840s. From the costumes to the music, the kinds of language that we're using. We are doing Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare's text, but we're enriching it with the sounds of Spanish, for example. It's beautiful. The music is fantastic. That sense of life and color, and into that we integrate fight choreography because with Romeo and Juliet there are quite a number of street brawls. This is a play that really does a fantastic job of intermixing, that kind of heat-induced hot tempers, brawls on the streets, along with the kind of poetic delight that we have with Romeo and Juliet. As a theater that specializes in Shakespeare, with Shakespeare as our middle name, we take seriously the chance to take on one of the master's greatest tragedies and the one that has, become such an icon in our popular culture. Romeo and Juliet was the first Shakespeare I ever saw. I try to imagine myself in the shoes of teenagers, kids who are seeing it for the very first time. Our Romeo and Juliet is going to be exciting, it's going to be young, it's going to be vibrant, there'll be music, there'll be dance, all executed to perfection by our amazing cast.